What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. In this one, I just wanted to come on and talk about the day one raid launch and just how absolutely pitiful it was. I really just wanted to give my opinions about it and just the raid in general. Just to preface before we start anywhere, I understand that this is like the raid launch and that Bungie has a lot of pressure on them to make a successful launch, and this is their biggest DLC that they've done in a really long time. And so I understand that it is stressful and it is a lot of hard work that they are putting in to try to make as smooth of a launch as possible. But with that being said, the raid launch was absolutely terrible. It was just one of the most pitiful, like, upsetting raid launches. And that's not to say that the raid is bad. Like, the raid it's good. It's not the best raid of all time, you know. I'd rather do it than Vault of Glass, and I would probably rather I'd rather do Deepstone Crypt than it. I think Deepstone's a much better raid. But with that being said, the launch it saddens me. The launch saddens me. So if you didn't catch the streams, or if you just didn't know much about this raid in general, so it just had a super rocky start. So for instance, the first encounter deals with you having to like escort one of these that I'm on in the Wellspring activity. You have to take that and carry it, if you will, or like just power it up, you finding these things, and then get it to the door, and then you jump down to this thing and then solve a puzzle and you get to the first encounter. It sounds simple enough, and it is simple enough. It's not super difficult to do. It's not super like mechanic heavy or anything like that. It's easy. Okay, let's keep that in mind. But here's where the problems lie with this. It would error code you so hard. So like, for instance, after you beat like the escorting section of the opening encounter to get into the first actual mechanic encounter, you would jump down this hole, and when you did jump down the hole, what would happen is your entire your game would you'd get error code guitar, and you'd have to restart the process again. This happened to a ton of teams. Just to point this out, it happened to a ton of teams. I think Swesticle said that it cost his team like 90 minutes, which is absolutely disgusting. So an hour and a half of his time wasted, pretty much. And the only way they were able to get past this is pulling a checkpoint. Like, really? You had to pull a checkpoint? It's so abysmal. What? That should never happen. That's not even like, that's part of it, right? Like, obviously. And my team got kicked a few times. The way that we figured out how to get past it, you had two options. There's option one, you would load in with 3 people, and the other 3 people would join up on you later. Because that opening section when you're escorting the like pyramid thing, like I'm doing now, it's built for 3-man. So when you add double the people and it's 6-man, it breaks the game. So that's fix 1, is you 3-man the opener. Fix 2, which my team found to be fairly effective. We probably lost like 30 minutes. So which didn't really matter because we never beat it anyway. But which I'm not mad about, like the actual difficulty or anything. But I'm just saying, yeah, we probably lost like 15-30 minutes. Not even like that much compared to other teams. Okay. But what I am gonna say is this: the way that we beat it or overcame it, the error coding, was fairly simple. We just did not die. If you die, we loot. We get guitared every time. It was pitiful. It was just absolutely disgusting, like how that's a thing. I don't want to be too harsh on Bungie either, because I understand, like, It's a lot of work like they had to put in, but like that should never happen. But that wasn't even like, again, like that affected us like, I don't, like I said, like 15 to 30 minutes, like not a super long time, but it was still like annoying. But what really affected us was in the first encounter room. We actually probably lost 2 hours in that room because of a certain thing. Let's get in. I'm gonna get into why right now. So first off, I did not have the greatest team. We weren't really going for day like worlds first. If it happened, it happened. Is what we were just trying to get a day one completion, which again we never did. And I don't even know. Even with them extending the contest mode, to get the emblem, I really don't even care enough to get it. But that being said, what happened to us was every single time we put down a raid barricade or rally barricade or whatever it is, the raid banner. Sorry. What would happen is we would not ever be able to rally to it. So we would lose out on heavy, super, special, all that. We would lose out on all of those things because you couldn't rally to the banner ever, not once. So that halted a lot of our like progress right there. One of the guys who I ran with on one of the sections, like we split up into 3 teams of 2, and like we split up, and I was in the middle area in the front with with like the hands, the drip drop thing, and then like we called the other one Jesus, but there's probably a better name for it. But anyway, what happened is, yeah, one of my buddies was running like a build to where he would basically get infinite heavy, or like he would just have heavy like all the time. So he was doing a ton of ad clear. When we didn't have the barricade, it's pretty much an instant wipe because like nobody could do anything. It was ridiculous. Nobody could do anything. So the way that you overcame that is you'd have to wait like 30 seconds before starting every single encounter to place down a barricade every single time, or the thing, the raid banner every single time, 30 seconds. And when you wipe 60 to when you do it for like a few hours and wipe like 60 times because like your team's not the greatest or what have you, dying like multiple times, which happened, which is fine. I don't blame anybody. It adds up. It really does. It adds up. Like you lose like a ton of time. That's, I think, so every 30 seconds, I said like, let's say a 60 wipes or so, that's 30 minutes you just lost. Like, it's ridiculous. But even that was worse because like we actually beat the encounter, but it never saved, and then we got wiped, and then we had to redo the encounter all over again. And that wasted another 2 to 3 hours there. Like we were probably on that encounter for like 6 hours. Which which isn't good, obviously, but again, it is what it is. But it was pitiful. And like the actual quality of the raid isn't that bad. Like I think the raid is fine, but that's ridiculous. There's nowhere should a launch be like that terrible. And look, another thing I want to bring up really quick. I don't think that because of all the error codes and stuff that they should have, or that Salty Greppo got an unfair win, because he won fair and square. Let's not get it twisted, okay? He did win fair and square. And it is what it is at the end of the day. And the raid race is over. We're not getting it back. But I think that going forward, Bungie should think about this and try to solve this so this never happens again, because it was absolutely disgusting what happened. It just wasn't fair to a lot of teams, mine included. I'm not saying that I would have gotten worlds first and that I'm salty, because I don't give a shit about worlds first. I never really did. It would be cool, obviously, but like at the end of the day, if I get it, I get it. If I don't, I don't. I don't care. I just want to complete the raid at least once. You know what I mean? So when you were haltered like 3 to 4 hours of time due to technical issues in the raid, it's upsetting. It's really upsetting. And even after the first encounter, we never got error coded again. Never had raid banner raid banner issues again. Never again. Just that first encounter. So I hope in the future Bungie finds a better way to solve this. Let's say this does happen again. A simple, easy fix would be to just lock it. Just lock the raid so you can't do it or can't load in. Something. Because it's just not fair to other teams. Again, like, no hate to anybody who, and fair play to Salted Greppo. GG's to him. He deserved to win. But I think Bungie needs to make sure that this doesn't happen again to keep an integrity of a raid race in order, if that makes sense. Just so everybody has a more level playing field. And not to say, like, his team didn't get air coded, because I'm sure they did. Everybody did. But that shouldn't matter. Nobody should be getting air coded in the first place, is what I'm getting at. But that's pretty much all the opinions that I had about the launch of the Witch Queen raid, Valve the Disciple. If you have any other opinions to add, leave them in the comments, and consider a like and subscription because it helps the channel grow. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.